News 8 investigators did some digging into the state's heroin problem. They partnered up with the New Haven Register and spent weeks looking at numbers.
Yeah, what we found was a huge spike in the number of heroin deaths and arrests and the number of people looking for treatment, too. News 8's chief investigator David Iverson has a look at the real human toll.
Ann and Darren, from 2012 to 2014, the number of people dying from heroin in Connecticut almost doubled. This year, the numbers are even higher, hitting some of Connecticut's smallest communities the hardest. We begin tonight by introducing you to one man who almost became a statistic.
I never aspired to be a junkie, obviously. You know, I grew up wanting to be a police officer, as a matter of fact.
Casey Olayos started shooting heroin every day when he was a freshman in college.
I wanted to do it, kind of. To be honest, probably one of the most at peace feelings I've ever felt.
Western Connecticut State University recruited Olayos to be a kicker on the school's football team. They knew he was a standout athlete, but they didn't know he was hooked on prescription pills.
I literally went from playing football in college to the following day I was in a jail cell in New York.
Olayos had been arrested for grand larceny.
My parents were devastated. They were like sick.
After his arrest, his parents sent him to get treatment, but instead of getting help, he was introduced to heroin. Olayos got hooked.
It grew more and more over time. Eventually my parents found out that I had screwed up.
Olayos' parents sent him to a treatment center after treatment center until he found one that stuck. Today, Casey is sober and works for the place he credits with changing his life. Turning Point in New Haven.
To end up where I ended up was kind of shocking.
But in reality, Olayos' story is not that shocking. A typical heroin addict in Connecticut looks just like Olayos, white, male, in their 20s.
Very successful parents, grew up great home, vacations every year, you know, just like your model childhood.
Turning Point is a treatment center specifically geared toward young men like Olayos, full of young men ready to get their lives back on track. But for so many others in Connecticut, it's too late.
In the last 2 years, the number of autopsy investigations that we have performed have increased over 50%, partly due to an increase in drug intoxication deaths.
Just this month, Connecticut's medical examiner, Dr. James Gill, announced his office was over budget. Dr. Gill blames autopsies for heroin and opiate overdoses.
All of this affects costs.
The greatest cost is to families. Many of the victims of the heroin crisis are the young.
People are overdosing on their 16th or 18th or their 21st birthday because somebody told them it was a good idea to celebrate your birthday by getting a small amount of heroin. What they don't understand is it's so pure, it will kill them.
The numbers tell the story. The number of people killed by heroin has skyrocketed from 174 in 2012 to a projected 381 by the end of 2015. So far this year, that means one person has died every day in Connecticut from a heroin overdose. The morgue is not the only place overwhelmed. State police have made an increasing number of heroin arrests, nearly 100 more than they did last year.
The number one priority for us right now is heroin.
Lieutenant Mark Sticka works with State Police Narcotics Task Force.
There's no way we're going to arrest our way out of this problem. Law enforcement efforts are never going to cure addiction.
For those that do try to cure addiction, treatment centers are in high demand. All these young people live at a sober living facility in Torrington.
It's good to know you're not alone.
Yeah. More people are in treatment for heroin in Connecticut than any other drug, including alcohol. Over 17,000 people went to treatment this year, and that's not including private facilities.
Let's go for a walk, you know.
At Turning Point, Casey is passionate about being an addict that can help other addicts. Without a change, he could have plenty more addicts needing his help.
Unbelievable. I've turned my mess into a message, and it's, you know, it's become my greatest gift, and my drug now is helping people.
And the story is not done there. Tonight at 11, we are taking you deeper into our findings with new ways hospitals are fighting growing numbers of heroin emergencies. We'll be back at 11 for the News 8 investigators, David Iverson reporting.